Good evening, everybody. The hiatus is over. Myself and Steve are back with the Arsenal Social Extra right after this.
To Martinelli in the box, Gabriel Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it.
Good evening. How are we doing, mister?
Mate, what is it? What's happening? What is this World Cup done to our football? Everything. It's cold, it's miserable, it's wet, it's raining. There's all stuff going. We should be watching the Arsenal. That's what we should be doing.
What I don't get at all, right, is it must be Qatar, because every other World Cup I remember it's been damn hot. Yeah. And now it's freezing cold. The frost is happening. It's foggy out there. I don't ever remember getting to the knockout stage of a World Cup being foggy. I don't know what's going on. What's the world coming to?
Yeah, I'm discombobulated, mate. You know, we've got no Arsenal going on. We've got no real gossip happening. There's like, you know, I don't know.
You say that, but I've still got some stuff to talk about tonight. Don't you worry. I've got plenty of stuff from Arsenal, plenty of stuff from our favourite Twitterati, but also a little bit on the World Cup. It is the World Cup, so I've seen some funny stuff I want to share from the World Cup. Some really nice stuff as well. We had chats about the World Cup, whether it should or shouldn't have happened. The thing is, it's going on. It's happening. There's nothing we can do about that. I think, as I mentioned in the last pod, we had 12 years, or all these people protesting had 12 years to get the protests out of the way. Too little, too late. It's happening. I am watching it. Obviously, can't catch every single game. I think it's been quite hit and miss, actually, the World Cup. I don't know about you.
Oh, mate, I've been, interested. I'd like to talk a little bit about Southgate and why he should be drop kicked as well.
Right.
I just want to unleash it on him. Like, just keep slapping that face of his. But we'll get into that. No, you're absolutely right. I think the quality has just not been there. It's the only World Cup I've never been excited about. I'm excited about our boys. And by the way, out to Mr. White, something serious. For you to ask for privacy, mate. Set all the love from the Arsenal massive footballing world, mate. There's obviously something serious going on. I hope that he, not that he listens to our show, but he's always welcome on.
Yeah. What I don't like about that is obviously they put a statement out. Let's respect his privacy, but then the people kind of gossiping around it. It's just not needed, and it's disgusting. If you ask me, but let's let him be where he needs to be, and time will be the healer. He's going to be okay.
You don't leave a World Cup for no reason at all. So whatever it is, my friend, I hope whatever you kind of get through it. I know that there's a lot of love from the Arsenal family for you, mate, out there, but. But no, I just think from a World Cup, it's just really weird. It's really weird. It's put a massive spanner in the momentum, I think, that we had. It's put a massive spanner in the way that the fixtures are stacking up and piling up. I think the quality of the football hasn't been there. You see someone like, you see the Belgians being knocked out, going out. And you see like Germany getting an absolute hammering. Those types of things going on. It's just... then Saudi Arabia against Argentina and doing what they're doing. It's been really weird.
Well, saying that, Japan have just equalised against Spain.
Have they? Oh,
yeah. So, I love the Japan. I love the Japanese. Come on, you can't not like them.
Well, and I don't listen, mate. I don't want to be horrible. I'm going to come in close to the camera. Come in close. Right. Look, you can see, like, I've got to take my glasses off because of the reflections that are coming on. But look. I don't want Tommy Ashley to go on. I want him to stay fit.
No, I'm quite happy how he's doing. He come on for that second half against Germany, played brilliantly, and then was getting the starting lineup. Couldn't work that one out. And that Asano fella, he looks all right. We should maybe snap him up. He looks all right.
Yeah, there's a load of players that we've seen. But is it not the World Cup blues, though? How many players have we got off the back of an amazing World Cup game and then, they've been absolute failures? But look, we had our very own Saliba play.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, came on. What just the Rolls Royce. The runs.
Saying that though, with the France team though, the France backup is nowhere near as strong as their first 11. Like, you watch them, and I mean, I know they're already qualified, etc. But if they get a couple of, they look very strong their first 11. But if they get a couple of injuries, they're there for the taking. I think.
Mate, Mbappe comes on, he bangs in a whole hat like hat full of goals. That's if that's not a message to everybody, the boy walks on and absolutely beats the living daylights out of everybody. Strong team. There's only a couple of teams that I've watched that I've seen. I have to say the Argentina.
Sorry, this is that's come off now. It's getting off.
The Argentina Saudi game, absolutely brilliant. I have to say, if you want to see blood and guts, everybody out, everything that goes on, got to turn around and say from the FA, what a bunch of lightweights. We're scared that Harry Kane's going to get a yellow card. Get over yourself. If the guys want to show their appreciation and diversity of what we show, and we show that at the Emirates all of the time, then grow a pair, will you? Just grow a pair.
Yeah, that stuff really annoyed me. I mean, I was going to touch on that a little bit later, but you shouldn't have to. 7 nations were going to wear this armband, but because they might have got a yellow card, they decided against it. But then, you could have appealed that, because what would the yellow card be on the grounds for?
Yeah,
it annoyed the hell out of me, like how weak that they were and bowing down to it. I mean. Well, I was going to talk as well. I know you've watched it. You've watched that FIFA documentary on Netflix, haven't you? Oh my God. Like, if ever there's an organisation that you don't bow down to, it's them. I'm not going to swear, but, it's them. Like, they are awful. And I still don't even trust the fellow who's in charge now.
No, you saw what and respect to the England and Welsh fans for that, actually. Booing him for what he is. Another criminal. Sorry. And that documentary, if you haven't seen it, guys and girls out there, or whatever denomination you want to be. If you haven't seen it, watch the
incredible
documentary on there. You have never come back. In fact, the bigger criminals. I've only ever seen one organisation that are bigger from a criminally minded perspective, and that's the Tory Party. And that's about it. But let's not get on.
I was going to say. I thought you were going to say Chelsea. But...
no. But look, for me, the whole part of it is obviously, the club and country conversation comes up all the time.
I don't like this. I really don't like it. Right. I've got, there was a couple of tweets I wish I would have shared. I haven't had time to put them all together. I was in a bit of a Twitter back and forth with some people, because I mean it was on the Brazil game. Like I think I tweeted along the lines of, no, not that I particularly like him, but Richarlison's goal was pretty good, or something along those lines, because it was a great goal.
It was a killer
and
goal.
All of a sudden, I've got a Spurs fan having a go at me, saying, "Oh yeah, you say it all now. Your boys are all on the bench." And I was like, "What? I'm just commenting that he had a good goal, and now you're bringing Arsenal and Spurs into a Brazil game."
Yeah, but
and it's just like
you're assuming that the guy can actually tie his own laces. That's you're assuming.
By the way, Japan 2-1 up against Spain.
Oh, fabulous! Now,
but
I can say that of being I'm from Spanish parents, born in the UK. Ha! Good for Japan.
But I'm seeing a lot of this, and I don't know whether it is because it's in the middle of a domestic season. People are still thinking about domestic games, but I've seen it more now than I ever had before about having a go about certain players because they're playing for certain clubs or not supporting. Like I've even seen England fans point blankly not cheer Harry Kane, because he's a Spurs fan. And don't get me wrong, we don't like Spurs. I'm not a particularly massive Harry Kane fan, but if he plays for England, I'll support him and I'll support anyone who does put on that shirt. And even though I think he has been playing awful and I think he probably shouldn't be in the starting lineup, that's another bone of contention. I still support who's playing there. Do you know what I mean? But this time more than ever seems to be, whether it's because social media is more prevalent now and people have got more of a stage to talk about it, but the club versus country thing is really winding me up this tournament. It really is.
And I think you're absolutely right there. And going back to that Tottenham fan turning around and saying all our boys are on the bench. Well, we've scored 9 goals. Your boy hasn't. So how does that fit? There's plenty of parallels that sit across the whole team. But ultimately, look, you know, like I said earlier on, I think from my perspective that when I look at the likes of the manager who's there, I've never seen a more defensively minded manager that seems to be scared, absolutely scared. I mean, Jude Bellingham. If honestly, I would love to have Jude Bellingham in our team.
Yeah, I was thinking if Arsenal fans could do some sort of crowdfunding for Jude Bellingham, I think that would work.
I'll throw that in.
I think that would work. He's incredible. He's got everything. He's got pace, power, skill. He can pick a pass. He can tackle box to box. He can play that number 10. He can play the number 8, number 4. He's got it all.
It reminds me of very young Aaron Ramsey, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I feel what you mean.
When he had that one good season, but only Gareth Southgate could take a player that gifted, that good, and make him look absolutely poo-poo. Like honestly, he's the only bloke that I know that can do that. You know, and again, the other one that on the polar opposite to that is Maguire. I've got to take my hat to because
he's having a good tournament. Yeah,
I've always said that actually Maguire's a good defender. Contrary to what everybody says,
I've always felt he plays better for England than he does Man United. Whether it's because of the system or whether it's because he's got the pride or whatever, or he feels more comfortable playing for England, I don't know. But he always performs for England. To be fair,
he's the lightning rod. He's the lightning rod for the hate of Man United. Like he genuinely is. He really is, and everybody blames him for being for being who he is. They all kind of blame him for it, but actually he's a good defender. He's not a bad defender. I'm not saying that I would give Saliba up for him, but
not at all.
In the way that Harry Kane's not playing to the best of his ability, and he's a world-class striker, he's not playing as well as he should, and I think he's carrying an injury, as always. But Maguire has done the opposite. Has actually shown he can be a world-class defender, in that space and in that box if managed correctly. But the problem is Southgate, he's not a world-class manager. I'm sorry. No. And I know there are a lot of people going to disagree with me. Defensively minded, scared to lose. You've got pace to burn in that team. You've got Saka, you've got Sterling. He's got Mason. He's sticking with Mason. He was sticking with Mason Mount for the first couple of games. Out of his depth, was in the wrong position. You're not playing. He's a naturally gifted player going forward. And I look at Mason Mount in the same way as the likes of so Mason Mount, I look at sort of an Odegaard could potentially has those kind of skills and traits there with him. Brilliant British player. And he's just I don't know what he's doing with him. I don't know what he's doing. Just defensively minded, really, really horrible, boring game. And everybody turned around and said, that game against Wales was really good. First half we battered and stuff. No, we weren't. We were awful. We're absolutely awful. He's playing the ball back, playing it across. We weren't recycling properly. There was no pace. And you've got the likes of, you've got the Sackers, you've got Bellingham, you've got Rashford in there. You've got all these really quick, fast English players that can absolutely terrorise on the wings. And what we got? They're all bunched up in the midfield. Playing it.
I mean, Southgate let's be honest, Southgate was the safe choice at the time when we had a bit of a tumultuous time with managers, so he was the safe choice. And I don't think even the FA thought he was the long shot. He would be there for the long term. I felt he'd be in there, shore it up for a couple of years, get us qualified, maybe quarterfinals. But he has exceeded results. Let's be honest. He has exceeded what we expected of him. But the football has been pretty dire. Other than a couple of occasions, the football's been pretty awful to watch. I mean, the Iran game I thought was a bit of a fluke. It was like a training match, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then I felt that the USA tactically outclassed us because they saw how we played and set themselves up very, very well. And against Wales, I'll be honest, I thought Wales could have probably put more of a fight against us, to be honest with you. I thought it would have been more like a Premier League match, etc. But once we got that goal early in the second half, that was it. Their heads just went. And it could have been a lot more in the end. But I do think that Senegal's going to be a tough spot because they are strong, they're athletic, they are not scared of anyone. They're not going to be intimidating at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Did they win AFCON? Didn't they win the...
Yeah, they did. They won the last AFCON,
They're not much. They're not much.
No, not at all.
However, I've got to go back to what I'm saying. When you have got the talent that we have, you've got that talent that we have, we should beat anybody on their day. Like absolutely,
I agree.
And we should not be scared of Senegal. We should be backing back. We shouldn't be doing this defensive nonsense where we should be absolutely bombing on. We should be getting, and for me, Rashford should be coming down the middle. But ultimately, you're going to have to sacrifice Kane for that. We've got Bukayo Saka, right? You've got Bukayo Saka, you've got Phil Foden, fastest wingers on the planet, absolutely in form, top of their game, and they don't play. You play Grealish. Grealish will get you. It will get you those. He'll do that shithousery where he'll get in and he'll get you free kicks. He'll go in and he'll be in places. No, sit him on the bench. Sit him on the bench and put another holding midfielder in.
Well, it's like when he started Henderson.
Oh,
and I was just like, I mean, Henderson does a job, to be fair, but he's nowhere near as good a player as he was 2-4 years ago.
No.
And with the other options we had, I just thought it was so negative straight away to put him in there. And, he probably didn't put a front wrong against Wales, but he also didn't really do much, from what I was seeing. But anyway.
No Steven Gerrard. He's not, like Henderson was going to be the next Steven Gerrard. That's why he was, it was all Henderson next to him. Nowhere near it. Couldn't even polish the guy's boots. Right. And I'm sorry, we've got so much more talent in and around there, and again, Declan Rice, what are you doing? Is he the holding midfielder? Is he the playmaker? What you can do? Because for me, he's a great holding midfielder.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely brilliant. Really, really good.
Just quickly, got an update. Costa Rica have just equalised against Germany, 1-1. So as it stands, without looking at it, I'm just this on my phone. I think that makes Japan through and Spain through as it currently stands, which would be lovely.
That would be funny.
Also got a comment. Aaron is a mate of mine. Aaron, how we doing, mate? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Aaron.
Too, mate. VAR decision. No, I've not got the football on. Was it shocking? I'm assuming it was. But if you can elaborate, that would be great. But it was Japan. Like, surely we want that goal. We want Japan to happen. Some of the decisions are awful. By the way, decision-wise, the penalty last night, Argentina. How ridiculous was that? Great save, by the way, from Szczesny. Got to say, what a save. But I don't get how that, in any stretch, that could have been a foul. Like,
where'd you get 9 minutes of extra time as well? Like, honestly. Where does somebody how'd you like 9-10 minutes of extra time? Like, where's that come from? Like, I don't get it.
What I'm worried about with this extra time stuff is if they're going to bring it in the Premier League or other leagues, because now they're using it so people don't waste time. They're saying any time you waste, it's going to be put on at the end. That's where it's all come from.
What you should be doing, the best way is the way the rugby guys do. Say, okay, we're going to stop the clock. Yeah, you want to walk off at your time? We'll just stop the clock. Easier.
It's exactly the same principle, but they just stop it. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Everyone knows exactly what's what. They know when it gets to that 80 minutes in rugby, for instance, it is over. I agree with that, and I think that would solve a lot of it. But yeah, it's been a weird World Cup in many respects.
Jack has played well.
Yeah, I think that all of our boys who have played have acquitted themselves pretty well so far. From what I've seen. I mean, all who have played. Obviously, there's a lot of players out there who haven't actually had a lot of minutes. Some haven't had any minutes. Ramsdale wasn't expected to get any minutes, let's be fair. Some players out there you would have hoped to have seen more. I would have hoped to have seen more from Martinelli, but to be fair, Brazil have been doing all right, so they've not really needed to. It'll be interesting to see if Brazil swap it around again tomorrow night, seeing as though they've already qualified. Interesting to see if Jesus and Martinelli get a bit more of some time on the pitch. That'll be interesting, but we'll see. I mean, squads need to be used the deeper the teams go in the tournament. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I think that the knockouts was hopefully where it will get a bit more tastier, because it's been a lot of 0-0s. There's been a lot of quite boring matches so far.
Yeah,
a lot of penalties. 29 penalties at my last count, which is ridiculous.
So again, it's at the wrong time of year. It's all done for money. Go and look at the the documentary on Netflix. They're as bent as it comes. It's all backhanders. The Sepp Blatter turn around and going, "Oh no, it's totally fun, and I have nothing to hide." Yes, you have, mate. You've got loads of money in Swiss bank accounts. You be caught out. But
the annoying thing is about that, though, is he got found not guilty at the end, didn't he? Not Blatter, but they didn't overturn his ban. So got investigated. He was found innocent of what he was being charged for. But at the same time, they've not reduced the ban. So something's there. Let's be honest with you. Something.
Mate, it's like a baroness, in the House of Commons or House of Lords taking 29 million and giving it to her husband. That be looked at. I'm sure nothing. I'm sure, it's the same sort of thing. Just a bunch of criminals.
So listen, I haven't got much on the Arsenal stuff to talk about, but there is a certain person on Twitter that's been getting my goat, and I know that you've seen him as well. Do you remember the kind Gooner?
Oh, mate, bless him.
This fella, do you remember him? This one here.
Kind
Gooner, spiritual, meditation, yoga.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely, doesn't he? Do you remember this fella? Remember him? Yeah, twat. I don't know where else. I'm usually very protective of Arsenal fans, but not when they come to this extent. So we did have some tweets from him a couple of weeks ago to show. Yeah, and I know that on Twitter you've been replying to a few times. And I have actually asked him very, very nicely, and my ask was along the lines of, "Listen, we obviously don't have the same views, but I respect your views. But how about coming onto the show and talking about them, in a very respectful way?" He ignored that. So I have reached out. So what I've proceeded to do is just make sarcastic comments on most of his tweets after that. But anyway, so I wanted to share a few. So this is kind of going back to the Wolves game. And stuff that's happened since the Wolves game. And I just want it to be a bit of an overview about someone who the more and more his tweets happen, the more and more I'm pretty sure he doesn't watch football. The more and more I think he doesn't watch football, potentially a Spurs fan, because the stuff he talks about is just awful. Although there's nothing to say he is a Spurs fan, because he does talk about other Arsenal fans who he's met. Anyway, let's show you a few things what I've got. I've got quite a lot, so I apologise in advance for
maybe it's coming up live from Broadmoor.
But what I like as well is people have started to kind of see through him a little bit. So this is just, not in any particular order, by the way. So it's full season in Cedric Holden and El Nini and Nketiah are still key members of the first team squad. And you lot want me to trust the brother, Mikel. Ha, do me a favour. But I like the one underneath. Key members, what are you smoking? They're squad members, but I agree. You wouldn't say key. He hates Arteta. So the people he really hates, he hates Arteta. He hates Odegaard, hates him, hates Nketiah, hates Marquinhos. Those are his four that he's got a constant theme about.
Marquinhos has played like 3 games. How can you hate
exactly. So this one made me laugh, and I actually replied to this. I said, Odegaard needs to change my mind. The only way he will do that is to score more and actually create chances and not give the ball away. Xhaka changed my mind a bit this season. Odegaard has to do the same. I think and along other people say, Odegaard doesn't have to change no one's mind. He doesn't give a damn what you think, to be honest with you. Like, he's not thinking, I've got to change the Kyan Gooner's mind. Trust me, Martin Odegaard doesn't care.
He's
doing his job.
Doesn't even know
But then this is the kind of, he's anti-Odegaardism, which is a new word I've just created. It makes me think he doesn't actually watch games, because the people who watch games see the value that Odegaard brings. I think that if you're not watching games, you only possibly notice when their assists go or where they score. You don't actually see what he does in the game. For me, Odegaard is probably our hardest working player alongside Xhaka this season. Doesn't stop running.
One of the things of Odegaard is that, and again, you and I have watched Odegaard since he was, since he was on loan with us. Right, carrying that injury, the whole piece. And what you could see straight away was a player that had what I called a Cesc Fabregas mentality. Right, he could read a game and he watches everything goes on around him. The problem that he does have, so one of the things that I do see with him is when he's not protected, because when he's hit hard, you get 2 or 3. And what I've seen a couple of times, and it's interesting because you'll see the midfields in a lot of the more robust teams will come in and hit Odegaard quite hard to take him out of the game. And then all of a sudden, Jesus will pick that space up and off he goes. And so he does the one thing he does suffer from, well, not suffer from, the one thing he gets targeted. And that's the sort of thing that the mindless morons at Sky Sport and Richard Keys and people like that, that's what they pick up. Oh, look, he was knocked on his backside. Well, what you didn't see was the 30-yard pass that he did, or the space that he opened up, or the way he overlapped with Saka on the right and then flips over to the midfield and laid on for Jesus. He's got that mindset where he can see where everybody is, and everybody's now in tune with him. So I don't really see where the village idiot is coming from, to be honest with you.
So you replied to this one though. Look, Odegaard tapping merchant, awful player, but yours was too sensitive for me to show. Look at that. Your reply was too sensitive. So I don't know what you put. I can guess. I can guess. Like, but like again, tapping merchant. Like, I maybe think of maybe 2 Odegaard goals in his time with us that have been tappings. You know,
I think
I
mentioned his mum in that one.
Possibly, and another one. You've got sensitive here. Saka at number 10, Reece on, Odegaard off now.
Love it.
You obviously didn't like that one either. So that could have been about who knows anywhere else. So this is just gives you a theme of what you put. Odegaard is so shit, as are your tweets. So that wasn't so sensitive there, Steve. So you know what I mean. He's got something really against him. Look again. Odegaard is so poor, man. Get him off. Reece on ASAP. They're completely different players. Odegaard and Reece Nelson. I like Reece Nelson. We know we both chatted about him before. He's not a central midfielder. He's not that. You know, it's ridiculous.
He's a winger. Yeah.
This one made me laugh. This one made me laugh a lot, and he got called out so many times for this. So he was replying to Bakary Sagna, boldly claims Arsenal will be champions under Arteta in just 2 seasons, despite being at risk of missing out last season. And then he's put, nope, this is Arteta's 4th season, Bakary. His record is da-da-da. So what he failed to see was that Bakary Sagna actually talked about this 6 months ago, just before the end of last season. Right. And I think I replied to him alongside many other people just saying, do you actually fact check? Do you actually read what you're replying about?
Can you read?
He got even the people who actually mostly had liked his tweets and then actually said to him, once someone had actually said, I can't back you up here, bro. Just like, along those lines. Oh, by the way, Costa Rica are 2-1 up against Germany.
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous.
Which had put all of them on 6 points. Interesting. Anyway, that's going to be an interesting group. So this is the kind of thing. This is the kind of thing what he does though. So like, you know, he just looked at this comment that Bakary made, saying it was 4 seasons ago. But what Saka had said is within the next 2 seasons, you know, Arsenal will be champions under Arteta. He said that at the end of last season.
So do you remember when Bakary broke his leg? He had that spiral fracture. You know, like the spiral fracture, which is one of the most difficult ones to heal. And it was I think it was actually Hairy Hands Richard Keys himself, turned around and said, "Oh, don't worry, he's just rolling around. He'll be up. He'll get up and start running off." And it worked out he had this spiral fracture. It was like, you know, going down his leg. On a sec, mate. Going down his leg that literally had him for months out of there. One of the best players, I think one of the best defenders we've had in a very, very long time out there on the right. Really quiet, never said a word, just did his job, played hard, along with Koscielny. And so I know that's provocative, but you know, for me, Koscielny was again, you know, him, Vermaelen, you know, really, really good defenders. You know, really, really good.
I agree. They were solid. They were dependable. It didn't do nothing splash. They didn't really stand out, but you could depend on them. I agree. A couple more for Kind Gooner, just to sort of show where we're at. So replying to the BBC, an informed Norwegian, Sills victory, in form, been bang average for 2 months, but scores a brace against bottom of the table Wolves, and suddenly he's in form. Mainstream media is dead. Like, I mean, again, I don't particularly. I kind of agree on the mainstream media, but he has been informed. There's like, again, this is another tweet that tells me he doesn't actually watch football. Yeah. You know, he doesn't understand football. He doesn't understand what a good player does.
Our captain is a catalyst of what we do. He's the catalyst.
Yes, he is. Everything we've done this season is a catalyst around that. Zinchenko was a thing saying he has been average at best. Zinchenko. Again, doesn't rate him either. So Zinchenko's probably going to go now on his list of players that he doesn't like. And then there's another one at the bottom here. Thiago Silva. This is replying to this one, by the way. So Thiago Silva picking Thiago Silva and leaving Gabriel at the World Cup will never make sense. Gabby has been consistently good for 3 seasons. And he said Thiago Silva is still levels above Gabriel, and I'm a huge Gabriel fan. You don't sound it if you're saying that, mate. These Arsenal fans, I swear. This is another one where he's making me think, is he an Arsenal fan? Where he's actually saying, these Arsenal fans.
So listen. The part of it is Thiago Silva is next level. He's next level. He's an absolutely amazing defender, right? He has made a bang average Chelsea team, he's saved their asses on so many occasions. But for me, Gabriel, oh my God, one of the best left-foot central defenders.
And consistently as well, consistently good. I mean, he was unlucky not to get in that Brazil team.
And yes, he does that as the mistake. Yes, there's a bit of Titus Bramble about him. Absolutely. Right, does he do it? But I'm telling you, how many top scoring central defender as well, and hold a premiership last season, and has already beaten his record right now. Sorry, mate, but Kind Guna, I think stop tweeting from Broadmoor because
there's one more. There's one more that I saved for last for the Kind Guna because it literally sums up his football knowledge. So he put out my team for next season. If he was Arsenal, if he could choose, right? Seriously.
Where are we going with this? Please, this is going to upset me.
Look. I don't know about upset you. It will probably perplex you the way it did to me. Some of these guys don't even play for us. But here, Saka left back for a start. Look. Onana, don't play for us. Maitland-Niles is going to come back. Willock we've sold, but obviously we're going to sell it. We're going to get him back.
Smith Rowe.
There you go. Pepe's coming back. Balogun's coming back. But to be fair, I mean, I don't know where to pick it apart first. I mean, Saka at left back for a start.
Onana for starters. Weren't he banned for drugs?
He went. Where did he go to? He was at Ajax, weren't he? He left.
Yeah.
I can't remember where he went to.
Somewhere in Italy.
He went to an Italian team. We were linked with him, and then we obviously didn't go for him. But
sorry, not interested.
He's the one who just left the Cameroon squad, didn't he? He left the Cameroon squad at the World Cup. So
Ainsley Maitland-Niles, so I've got to say, with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, sport child, sport brat. He has had the opportunity to be an integral part of the Arsenal team for many years.
But currently he would put Ainsley in ahead of Tommy and ahead of Ben White. By that count?
First off, it goes to show Ainsley Maitland-Niles had the chance, had the right back position. That's what he had. Nailed on. Could have had that all day long. Didn't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now he's playing at Southampton. No disrespect to Southampton, but he's playing exactly where he needs to be. Yeah. Or maybe a championship side. Sorry. So and Saka at left back.
Yeah, that's the one for me. I mean, it's all wrong, but Saka left back is just a crazy one.
No, I encourage everybody to interact with the Kind Guna. Don't bully him, but interact with him because obviously he's got a different management to most people.
But look at the players he's dropping around that. Jesus, Odegaard's being dropped.
Yeah,
Xhaka's being dropped. Partey's being dropped.
Yeah,
it's like Tierney ain't getting a look in. Obviously, don't get a look in at the moment. Ramsdale's being dropped. And the players that we could potentially sign, he'd rather get Willock back.
Yeah,
or sign Basuma from Spurs.
I always thought with Willock though. You again, like Reece Nelson. It was a shame there wasn't. Because Willock over Emil Smith Rowe. It's not even open to negotiation. Very similar players, and Willock, but there was something about Willock that I really liked, and he's thriving at Newcastle. And I really
liked him.
But I'm also pleased with the 45 million we got for him, or whatever it was.
Exactly. It was like the Iwobi. I didn't actually mind the Iwobi when we got 40 million from him. I was like, yes, please, we'll have that.
Yeah, have that. Off you go. And he's proved to be exactly what we all knew he was.
Exactly. But this tweet for me should sum up to anyone else the guy's knowledge about football just in that one tweet.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah. So enough of him. He's had enough airtime.
I've got one for you. I've got one for you. Obviously, we've got the mighty Juve coming to see us in the next couple.
Well, if they still exist.
Well, that was the thing. There's 2 or 3 players that and I think come January we're obviously we have to. If we want to keep this momentum, obviously we're going to be top of the league. We're going into we're going Christmas, New Year. Come the New Year, we're going to be top of the league. We're going to go through that. It's going to be a great time. Well, hopefully we will. Should we beat West Ham? Well, I suppose we can touch on that. I managed to secure some things, so I'm going to go. So, what do you reckon? So there's Locatelli is sitting in there. Rabiot's still there, is he? Right, yeah. So Rabiot's still there as well, so he's looking. And there's obviously Vujovic, who wanted to go and win things, apparently.
Oh, Vlahovic, yeah. He can't even get in the Serbia team at the World Cup, but that's another story, apparently.
So you kind of sit back and look, and financial fair play has caught these guys out.
Massively.
Yeah, you look at PSG as well. So PSG have to start offloading a few. January's going to be really important. I think January's going to be really important for us. But this I just feel that actually, I know we're not squeaky clean.
No.
By any way, but we're nowhere near as bad as the rest of them. And you've seen recently Liverpool up for sale, Manchester United up for sale. There's a whole load of these investors that are very nervous at this moment in time. And I haven't been biggest fans of the Cronkies, and I think their naivety is coming of it. But what do you think about that Juve game? Do you think there's going to be a few players that are going to be putting themselves on the old?
Well, you would think so, because they're 216 million missing or something, like ridiculous amount just missing. They've got to settle that. So, I mean, like it's like it was a few years ago. They're facing relegation, but for a completely different reason. Like they got relegated before because of all the bungs and stuff. That was another interesting documentary as well. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I haven't. No.
You've got to look at that one. That was really good. But this is obviously something different that, the players know, do they not? And they're saying Ronaldo's been incriminated in all this as well, because apparently, have you heard about the Ronaldo bit?
No, I haven't.
So it was obviously during the time when Ronaldo was there that Ronaldo had said that he wasn't getting paid during COVID and stuff, but apparently they were still paying him during COVID, and Ronaldo said he wasn't getting paid from the club. So he's potentially getting in trouble because he got paid money that he shouldn't have got paid, or said he didn't get paid. It's all messed up. So, it's a lot going on there. So if you're the players, you either know about it, you knew that stuff was happening, and you had to kind of keep stum, or you're thinking, well, I need out of here quickly. And it could be it could be a fire sale. Who knows? I mean, they're not having the greatest of seasons.
No.
The player I like of theirs, I don't think he's played much this year, is that Chiesa. With Fiorentina. I don't know if he's injured. I know he hasn't played much. Got a friend of mine who's a Juve fan, and I know he was on loan at Juve before he signed, but I don't think he's actually played much this year, possibly because of injury. But they've got some good players. Obviously, Szczesny, a goalkeeper. We don't need another goalkeeper, but he'd be someone who's probably going to be looking to leave. Pogba's just gone back there. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's probably another reason why they're so in trouble.
It could have happened to a nicer guy, though, could it really?
No. He'll be calling up Eric Ten Hag saying, "Oh, we never met before, but I'm Paul. I'm wearing a number 6 shirt. Yeah, get me involved." I don't know. It's a messed up thing for them. I mean, it's not looking good for Italian football either, really, for that. And again, they could easily get relegated a couple of divisions and possibly never be seen again. But
I wouldn't want that, to be honest with you.
No, I wouldn't want that.
For the heritage of the game itself and the actual team. Because I don't think, again, it's all the backroom people, the fans, everybody. It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
No,
it's
exactly.
the crooked people above. So,
Germany have equalised. It's now 2-2. But as it currently stands, Germany are out, Spain go through. So
brilliant. Leah, let it stay like that, because that'd be the best one, wouldn't it? Tomiyasu through. Let's see it.
Japan go through top as group leaders currently. That'd be amazing.
So that's an interesting one, because obviously we've got them. They'll be playing their team. I think there'll be a few people putting themselves up on show. And I just can't. I kind of think that if I was Edu sitting there, and congratulations on his new job as well. First sporting director that Arsenal have ever had. So
Locatelli's the one.
I think so. I think he's down the list, isn't he? So Locatelli's come back from injury. He's second or third choice now. Rabiot, I sort of look at Rabiot, and he's an amazing player, but he's another Guendouzi with baggage, from what I've heard and what I've read. Not as I've looked across the press about him. Big ego, massive. Thinks he's amazing. Didn't really set the world alight at PSG. And I just think it's another Matteo Guendouzi, and we don't need that. We just don't need that in this team. But Locatelli, I just look at that guy and I think, actually, you know what? That there could be something there with that. That's a backup for Xhaka, because he just reminds me of Xhaka, just a younger version.
I agree. Oh, we will see. I don't know. The friendlies, I think, like I was talking to a couple of people the other day. Germany just went 3-2 up, by the way. A couple of people the other day saying, "Oh, why are we having friendlies?" And I said, "Well, you want friendlies. Like the players who haven't been playing can't then just go straight back into game after 6 weeks. They need those friendlies. Like they're not going to play 3 90-minute games each team. They've got to, it's just fitness. It's just about getting back into that, match practice. And so when it does happen, they're good to go. I think it was obviously going to happen.
It's also bringing the young talent through as well, wasn't it? So you're bringing the young talent through, giving them a chance, find out what it's like to be part of the first team, hear the fans. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it because I've missed the Arsenal, I've missed the Emirates.
Yeah, I was looking at it, but I can't do it because I'm away that time. Or is it? Oh, Mrs. is away, so I can't get away from the kids. I did look at it, thinking I wouldn't mind that. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff, isn't it, in the evenings as well? Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Yes, it's a decent one that we can kind of get in and get out. But I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Reece Nelson and people like that play. I'd like to, and apparently Emil Smith-Rowe's doing well. I'm not saying he's going to make it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll be on the bench or something. That'd be lovely to have him back. And as you say, we're going to have some of our players back already. So it'll be nice to see the Arsenal playing and the fans together again.
Exactly.
But looking at that, so looking at the strengthening, mate. Yeah, we've talked about this before, and I know we've had lots of chats on our WhatsApp group. But what do you think for January? Do you think they're going to invest? Because I think they have to.
I think they have to. I think that it might not necessarily have been the plan at the beginning of the season, but I think because of the position we're in, it'll be foolish not to strengthen, given the position we're in. If we were 3rd or 4th, then we might not have seen it. I don't think we might not have rushed into it. We might have waited until the summer. But I think now we are in this strong position. We need to enhance the squad. Like we realise actually we're in a real chance here. Like let's go for it. But I also think he'll only buy the right players. I don't think he'll make snap decisions. He will only go for players that he wants, and hopefully bring some of the deals that were maybe planned for the summer forward. I think that would be the way. He's never been. From what we know about Arteta now, he's never one to buy a player against his will or for the sake of it. Yes. He only buy a player if he really wants that player, and it will fit in the whole plan. So I think if the right player's available, definitely, we should. And I think we could see. I think we'll see definitely 1, hopefully 2.
Well, there's talks. Obviously, I can't pronounce the guy's name. The Ukrainian guy.
He looks great. Mudryk.
Yeah, he looks absolutely stunning. And the other one is Danilo as well, the Brazilian.
And again, they fit the bill. Like we need a wide player and a central midfielder. Those two fit the bill. They're young. They've got the right pedigree. I mean, they look good. Like both players look good. Obviously, since you've been linked with them, you tend to look up more and see them. And they both look absolute stars in the making. So bring them on. Yeah, I like both of them. Bring them on. The Mudryk one. Apparently, did you see I obviously didn't see it because it was in. It was in whatever what language it's in, but Zinchenko's missus is a presenter for television, and she was interviewing him.
Oh, right.
Did you hear about that? And she be seeing you one day, and like he gave her a little wink and a smile and all that, and it was like, oh, he's coming to Arsenal, that kind of stuff. So, whether she's being secret squirrel and being an agent for us, I don't know, but
hope so.
I hope so. Definitely. Hope so, yeah.
I say Danilo looks like a unit as well. He looks like really good. But again, they're young and raw. He ain't going to replace so he's not going to replace Martinelli. That guy is he's next level at the minute. And I think he's probably, to me, he's actually he's been one of our best players that have moved on, if you know what I mean, that have actually gone up a few levels. This season, that and Xhaka. Like Xhaka is,
Xhaka's gone to levels I never knew he had.
Yeah, I mean, to think he almost went to Roma and we were all happy about it.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Sometimes be careful what you wish for, isn't there? And Thomas Partey. Well, God, he's like a metronome when he's playing. The other one that I have to say, João Felix, the one that we've been linked with as strikers. I think we need a striker. I genuinely think we need another striker, a tall, leggy kind of striker. When we're looking at João Felix, I think he's awful. Honestly, I've been watching these guys. I think he's awful.
I'm not convinced. Like I do watch a bit of La Liga, and he plays well in patches, not consistently though. I don't think he's hit the heights that they would have hoped when they signed him, but 140 million. But again, he's still very young even now. He's still only early 20s, so he has got a bit of time.
No, not for me.
He's a decent finisher, but I don't think he is as good as people probably want him to be.
It's like Coutinho when he left, wasn't it, for 100 million?
Yeah, exactly.
And it never worked.
Flatters to deceive.
Yeah.
Another player I want to briefly talk to that I've come across over the last couple of weeks is you obviously know I follow our players on Facebook. You know, all of their wonderful things. There's been some lovely stuff going on in the World Cup.
Is it beautiful?
Lovely stuff. Too much for me to really mention, but I don't want to go over the same sort of things. But you know that one of my biggest things is the fact that people fall for it when they're not verified. Now Facebook has that blue tick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? You know, so similar to Twitter. So it was about people saying,
How does that work? How does that even work? How does that even work?
But all I want you to know is, do you know what our friend Fabio? Fabio.
Lover.
Look what he's got. Look what he's got himself.
Ah, bless him. Bless him.
So the Fabio, this cracks me up. Like, he's managed to get himself a blue tick. Like, hey, I'm going to fool people by doing that. I couldn't help but comment. Oh, look, you've verified yourself. You've been promoted to Photoshop level 2. Well done.
Gabriel Martinelli, nice one, bro.
Nice one, bro. I know people are actually falling for it. He's actually Photoshopped a blue tick, not even in the right area of where it is, and people are still falling for this stuff. It's unreal.
Oh my God.
And there's again, I could do a whole show on this, but I'm just trying to pick out the bits that made me kind of laugh. And then he even posted this, right, which made me laugh as well. Hello, Nunu, as if to, and he was kind of saying that he was in the World Cup training, and they were like, "Good luck."
Hang on a sec. There's 7 shares on that.
I know, it's crazy, absolutely crazy, right? So, but the thing is, right, he was intimating as well that he's training in the World Cup with Nuno Tavares. Neither of them are in the squad, the Portuguese squad. Neither of them are there. But there's people there saying, "Oh, good luck in Qatar. Well done. We can't wait to see you on the pitch." There's people even saying, like, he actually got caught out a little bit, didn't get to play today. Someone then pointed out, "You're not in the bloody squad. That's why you didn't play, mate." And there's people still falling for it, saying, "Oh, you'll get on the next one. Don't worry. You'll be fine." It's like unreal. Unreal.
Stupidity.
I do find them funny, but the stupidity's unreal. There's some horrible stuff as well. I'm not going to go into tonight. I want to keep it nice and light.
Keep it light.
Can I share a few light things with you now? Is that all right?
Please, mate.
So, did you see the new Have you seen the new Aston Villa badge? By the way,
no. Should I have? I have?
Well, it looks familiar. Look.
Mate.
It's terrible. I mean, no wonder the Villa fans are absolutely going spare.
Oh my god.
And I love the comments. Copy your homework. Yeah, just change it up a bit so it doesn't look obvious. Okay. It's just like
it's obviously the same marketing company between the two of them. Someone's just made it.
Face them the other way. It's terrible. How did they think they're gonna not notice this? Oh yeah, we're fine. It's been a couple of years. That's absolutely crazy. But in talking about Chelsea, I did see this one made me laugh. Graham Potter's Chelsea is playing a new kind of pressing football called depressing. Peter Drury. Peter Drury is brilliant, by the way. Peter Drury's commentating is probably the best thing about this World Cup. I don't know if he's had some brilliant comments. I wish I would have had some to note now, but look up, just Google Peter Drury comments. He's absolutely amazing.
Love it.
I saw this picture of Harry Kane before he left for England. Harry Kane posing with all the trophies he's won at Spurs.
Large M&M. He hasn't got his spit guard either.
No, but he's got his little emoji. He's got his fluffy lion that he won at the fair. He looks happy though. He looks happy.
Bringing it.
Craig Dawson. Do you remember Craig Dawson, the defender? He put a tweet out when the England squad was announced that made me laugh. This is the kind of player I like. Connor Cody, Harry Maguire, and Eric Dyer all cut up for England over me. You're lost, England. I love that. I just love it. Just like a bit of tongue in cheek. I don't think he ever played for England, but yeah, fair enough. I think it's like brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This one made me laugh. Moving into more of the World Cup stuff, but this shouldn't make me laugh, but it did. Yeah. I'm gonna leave that one there. But I mean, there was a lot to do about the World Cup, about the whole no alcohol stuff beforehand and pulling it out of 2004. It was always going to happen. It was always going to happen, mate. I don't know if I told you. I think I must have. A mate of mine lives out in Qatar. He sent us photographs on our WhatsApp group about 10 days before the start of the World Cup of them taking the Budweiser bars out of the grounds. They knew long before it weren't going to happen. But he did also send me a picture of the beers out there. I don't know if you want me to share it with you.
Oh, well, why not?
So you can get those deals like you can at the Emirates, hot dog and a pint at the World Cup.
Yeah, it's probably about 4 times more expensive as well as than the Emirates.
It's absolutely crazy. We're talking about drinks. You can still get drink offers at home.
That's not nice. That's not nice. Well, it was interesting. I had a bit of a Twitter spat with somebody the other day around drinking at the World Cup, and ultimately, the religion and the law says that dictates that you can't drink alcohol. End of story. So, and if that's not what you want, if that's not good enough for you, stay at home. It really is as easy as that. If it's too expensive to stay in a hotel and you can't drink, stay at home and watch it on TV.
Yeah,
simple as that.
I can see it from. I can see it from so many different angles about the whole drinking and stuff, because at the end of the day, like, it is the law of that country. It is the way that they've set.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm thinking, fair enough. Like, some people are saying, yeah, but you're letting us come in your country, but it's still their country. Like, I can see it in many different angles. But
no, the thing is, so there's the other part of it. Well, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of the laws and some, and the human rights pieces. I'm not going to. This is not the forum for that. My choice is to stay away. Now, for the Americas World Cup, when the World Cup's in America, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to be there. I'm
the same. I'm already planning that one. So
just a few meetings, going to meet the boss. But the fact of the matter is it's a society that's sort of aligned very loosely with our values. And I'm not going to get in trouble for drinking a beer, or I'm not getting in trouble for having a pork chop.
Oh, America love a tailgate party, don't they? Straight away, it's really brilliant.
Absolutely. And that will be the whole part of it that runs it. And that's my choice. Ultimately, you can't expect to impose yourself in somebody else's country. I think that's unfair. To go there.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You got to abide by it. And if the Qataris decide that actually the concept of alcohol points or areas where you can lock yourself away is not to their liking, you've got to go with the law. You got to cover it. And if it's not good enough, if you don't like it, stay at home. Just stay at home. Have a beer with your family. Do what you got to do. Buy the money you would have spent on the flight and everything else. Buy yourself a bigger TV. Watch it on a bigger TV and a surround sound. You'll be fine.
There you go. Problem solved.
Exactly.
So I want to give a shout out. I just mentioned my mate Carl. He lives out in Qatar. We actually caught him on TV. So he went to he's been to a few games, but he was on the telly for it was the USA Wales game, the first game. So his wife is American. So see if you can guess which one's Carl. So that's my mate Carl being dragged along to the USA game by his American supporting wife, who you can see on the right hand side. It's very, very nice.
I think the one behind. I think the woman behind her, like the stoic face, and you've got Abraham Lincoln 2 seats down.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic, isn't it? And you got Carl there wearing his Atlanta shirt that she's an Atlanta fan, so he had to probably wear that. Not that impressed, but I do think he'd had some sherbets at home before he left for the day.
Carl. Come on, Carl.
He's having a good time. We're talking about Wales. Did you see the Wales Iran game? Did you see the Hennessy sending off?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually get to see it.
I've got a picture of it. You want to see it?
Yeah,
and that's that, and that's just, and it was that bad. And like he was trying to say, I didn't touch him. It's like, come on.
Apparently,
like,
so you know Luke, who comes on from time to
Yeah.
time as a special guest. He literally messaged me and said, "WTF? Did you see that? I was actually working." So he said, "What's a?" And I won't say what he said, but the last part of it was end. Yeah,
Yes.
like it was unbelievable.
It was terrible. It literally was like that. It was just like, what are you thinking of?
Why?
And the ref took ages to decide. He had to go to VAR and have a look. What's there to decide? He literally nearly decapitated the bloke. I mean, come on, give him a break. But is it a shame that Wales went home? I mean, not for Gareth Bale. You know, he's off. He's fine. He's off back down the driving range. He's fine. But I thought they were a bit. Wales have got to be disappointed. The fans looked amazing, to be fair. The Welsh fans, they looked amazing out there, and I think they probably deserved a little bit better. There's another couple of things I want to share about the World Cup. We talked briefly about Richarlison earlier, and I think it's a story that we need to remember. 6 months ago, Richard Arlison was a bus driver for Coach Innovations Limited. Now he's scored for Brazil in the World Cup. Never give up on your dreams. And there he is. Do you remember that story?
No.
Do you remember this? Do you not? So it was Liverpool, was it Champions League, wasn't it, last year? Champions League final against Real Madrid. Yeah. And Everton fans set up some things set up on the internet offering coach travel to the Champions League final with Coach Innovations. Yeah. And on the confirmation, the driver was Richard Arlison. And obviously he was at Everton at the time. And a coach load of Liverpool fans had paid for it and arrived waiting for the bus that didn't show up. And they've said it didn't go to the Champions League final. This is where that's come from. But they fell for it. Richard Arlison. It's like, come on. I mean, it's both ingenious, but also pretty awful. But there he is. Richard Arlison. Now he's at the World Cup. Very naughty.
Such naughty boys. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And really, that's the best thing for him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I completely agree. We briefly touched on this earlier. So the Germany thing, for one number of reasons, I don't know if I particularly agreed with it, but there was some backlash. This is what happens when you don't focus on football. This was literally after Japan beat them 2-1. And I don't know this guy, who he is, because I'll tell you to follow him. He's a local Qatari guy. He actually does talk a lot of sense. He actually really kind of brings people up, and similar thing to what you've just said. Like, if you wanted to drink alcohol, don't come to our country. It's as simple as that. He just shoots people down. And he was quite happy that the Germans got beaten by Japan, so that was good. Germany are out of the World Cup, by the way. Just saw that. Germany won 4-2, but because Spain did lose to Japan, Spain go through on goal differences. They both finished on 4 points. Japan topped the group, Spain second. Germany out. Germany out. Belgium went out earlier. Germany are out now. Oh, all falling.
So, mate, we're coming to the top of the hour. And that was interesting. We've talked about we've sort of meandered in and out. I've got to say, how are you feeling about our game against Senegal? How are you feeling?
I am not as confident as I probably want to be, because I do think they are a tough team. I think that I always think the African teams get underestimated.
Yeah.
I think they've got a togetherness. I think they are always very athletic. They're strong. They're not afraid. That's the biggest thing. They're just not afraid. And even you saw the other day, I think it was Ghana, Serbia. They went 2 goals down. It was a great game, by the way. Serbia were 3-1 up. Ghana did not give up and come back and drew 3-3. And they just don't know when to say. They don't know when to say stop. They never give up. They always keep going till the end. And I think Senegal, again against Ecuador, Ecuador equalised. Senegal went straight up the other end and got the goal again. I think it's going to be tough. And I think we haven't played opposition like this for a long while, and it reminds me a little bit of when we had Cameroon in 1990. On paper, everyone's thinking we were going to stuff them, and then they gave us a real shock. yeah, we should be winning, but a lot of it will come down to Southgate. If Southgate defends and lets them come onto us, then I think we could be in for some trouble.
And that's what worries me. Unless he unleashes that devastating pace, Foden, Saka, or like Grealish, and and he might have to even sacrifice Harry Kane if he's not fit. I mean, genuinely, if he's not fit, you say, I'm not saying he doesn't start. Oh, he's got to start. But if come sort of 50, 60 minutes, he's not doing it. You got to, I mean, don't get me wrong, his pass across the box was amazing. I just think that this team has been held back and has got the chains on them. Now, you've got to let the chain on. You've got to absolutely let them get at them, because we have got a team of world-class players, and we genuinely have. And I don't think, and I think some of them are at the end of their, like the Sterlings of this world and Kane, and they're at the end of their international careers. This might be the last sort of hurrah. And if we don't unleash the right people,
the last hurrah,
and give them that pace, plus, and we need to defend, of course. But if we don't unleash those amazing players, as I say, I put Saka into that because he's world class. I think we're going to have a problem, mate. I think we're going to have a real problem. But hey, I'll be cheering for the boys.
Of course, Sunday night, and it's Sunday night, so probably find myself down my local for that one where I've been the last 2 games.
I'll be in Stockton on Tees. I will be. I'm driving up to Stockton on Tees. There we go, living the dream, my friend. So Stockton on Tees. If someone could just find me on Twitter, tell me where I can see the game, I'll buy someone a pint. How about that?
That sounds good to me. Now, before we finish, I want to finish on what's hot and what's not. I've got a few more things. We can save those for another day. But there's a couple of things that I think I do want to address tonight. So it goes without saying that Arsenal released another Christmas, range. I'm not even putting that in tonight. But I didn't have to. They've released a Christmas range, Christmas jumpers, Arsenal, all the lot. I've lost count now. So bugger off Arsenal. Not even going to advertise it anymore. That's done. Right. But also, there's other clubs who bring out other ranges. So, we had our TFL range, etc.
Yeah.
So I found a Liverpool range that is not necessarily linked, but I definitely think it's been influenced by DHL.
Mate, that looks like a lifeboat outfit.
It's just like, it's awful. It's like it's a new. I don't know what it is.
It's a high-vis top.
I thought it was Watford at first, but it's not. It's Liverpool's DHL range, I think.
Mate, there's a fucking high. Sorry, there's a high-vis top. That's from someone that's for skip workers, people that put their skips into building sites. It's
unreal, isn't it? It's absolutely unreal. But there you go. I want to do I've got a couple of what's hots now that I want to just talk about because they're very, very good.
Let's do
I want to say what's hot. Obviously, Budweiser couldn't have the beer, but Budweiser marketing department, another level. Oh, it's too short. So Budweiser put basically that they had 50,000 beers on sale and put it on eBay. Once they found it out, it says along here. Here's what it said: 15,000 times unopened pallets of Budweiser beer, £100. Never opened, bought for an event but didn't need it in the end. Collection only, cash preferred. I love this kind of stuff. It's like, it is. And like, there we go. There's all that lovely beer. £100 for that bargain. You know what I mean? Let's get cracking. Even though I don't like Bud, we'll still get going on that one. Also, there's this. I don't know. Did you see the Morocco fan in amongst the Cameroon fans dancing?
No.
This fella. Oh, he's a legend. Like, you've got to look it up. I think it was Cameroon. I'm sure it was. It might not be. He was basically one Moroccan fan just got in the middle of all this group. Rather than feeling, overawed, he just was dancing. He was bopping away. He was getting involved. And he looks so happy. If you get a chance to watch the video, I love this guy.
I'm going to.
He's fantastic. But also, away from football, I've been to a couple of games in the Rugby World Cup recently that I thoroughly enjoyed, actually. One of them was at the Emirates, which was so weird, by the way. I sat in a block next to where you sit, actually. Yeah. And it was so weird watching a rugby match at the Emirates. It took me 20 minutes to adjust. It was just so weird. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kids enjoyed it. Excellent. But I don't know if you're aware of Kevin Sinfield, of what he did around the Rugby World Cup. So he done 7 ultra marathons in 7 days leading up to the final, all for charity. Yes. And I love this comment that I just thought I'd share to close on. If we can all try to be a bit of a better friend from time to time, we'll have a bit of a better place to live.
Absolutely.
I love that. And, 7 ultra marathons, 40 miles each day for 7 days for charity. I just think, well done that man. Well done that man. And for him to sort of come out with those kind of comments at the end, it got me. Got to be honest, it got me.
I've got a friend of mine who's an ultra marathon runner. He tells me, right, he has these very expensive running shoes. They're about like £200 a pop, and he gets through them. He gets through a single pair every race. So
crazy.
Like to do 7 of those. Oh my Lord! So yes, I did see this. I did see him coming at last minute, and all of his friends were joining him at the last bit of the run, weren't they? Yeah.
So he had a team of about 4, but not all of them run every day. Like a couple of them would run one day, the others would have a break. He done 7 days in a row. All of his team done the last day together. So I think 5 of them done the last time together. But it's amazing. He's kind of, because obviously it was one of the rugby lads that was suffering, and obviously that's what got it into the limelight. But I love that comment. Let's just try and be a bit of a better friend, and we'll have a bit better place to live. And I love that. So thought that would be a nice thing to end on. That's not football related, but very much sport related. But it's good to be back, isn't it? It's good to be back. It's been a couple of weeks.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the Juve game. I don't care how bad it is. I just want to be back at the Emirates. I'm looking forward to our boys doing well. I'm looking forward to some movement in January. I'm looking forward to the West Ham game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. We've got some good games coming to the Emirates as well.
Yeah, we have.
But
it
is
bloody rail strikes. That's all I've got to say. They put flipping rail strikes.
They're Tottenham fans. They're Tottenham fans. I'm sure the Union leaders are Tottenham fans because they're just trying to disrupt us. But I drive anyway, mate. So I'm going to be there. Whatever happens, I'll come and pick you up if you can't get there. Don't worry about that, mate.
Don't worry
about that. You got a lift. It's happening. But all I can say is to everybody who's listened to us chat nonsense for the last year, thank you. Thank you for everything. I wish everybody a really, really great Christmas. A prosperous new year. I hope that you can keep your heating on, and I hope you can put food on the table.
Maybe Christmas special coming soon. We still need to arrange that.
Need to do the Christmas special for sure. A couple of drunk blokes from a pub somewhere or the other. So if anybody wants to help us, please we'll do that. But honestly, I do wish for all of the people that take their time out in their life to listen to us. I thank you. I thank you for the last year. It's been a lot of alcohol consumed. I know that. But again, we're all fans. We're all like, it's all for the love of the same team. It doesn't matter whatever happens, whoever plays for us, whatever people say on Twitter, we'll still love our team. We'll still go and watch them, no matter what, through the highs and the lows. And so let's just hope that come the end of the season, we're going to be flying high. That's all I hope.
Exactly. So listen, let's hope we get another couple of shows in before Christmas, before the new year. There's going to be a lot to talk about. Even without Arsenal playing, there's always stuff to talk about. But whoever's listening to this, thank you. God bless. And we will see you very, very soon. Take it easy.
North London!